Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am so glad you're hanging out with us today. Because, well, today we're talking about something literally every single person needs, whether you're 10 years old or 100, and that is finding real, perfect rest. Have you ever had one of those days where life just feels heavy? Like maybe you're stressed about a huge math test, or there's some drama with your friends, or you're just totally overwhelmed by homework and chores. Your brain is just running on a hamster wheel, right? Well, today we are breaking down an awesome text called The Secret of Perfect Rest in His Love. So let's jump right in and figure out how to finally get a real break.
Okay, I want you to use your imagination for a second here. Have you ever tried to climb a super steep hill with a backpack stuffed absolutely full of rocks? Seriously, picture it. You're hiking, but instead of packing water and some snacks, your school backpack is just jammed with heavy, jagged stones. The straps are totally digging into your shoulders, your back aches, you're sweating, and every single step takes a monumental amount of effort. Exhausting, right? Well, in the source material we're looking at today, that heavy, aching feeling, that is exactly what it means to be heavy laden with our worries. Those rocks aren't actual stones. They're our invisible fears, our anxieties, and maybe the mistakes we feel really bad about.
Which brings us to section 1, the heavy backpack problem in hugging our burdens. You know, humans behave in such a weird way sometimes. The text points out that we sigh for rest, yet we press on the rugged path, hugging our burdens close to our heart. Think about how silly that actually is. Imagine you're huffing and puffing up that giant hill, complaining super loudly about how much your back hurts, yelling, "I just want to rest." But then, when someone actually offers to take the backpack, you grip the straps as tightly as you can and shout, "No way, it's mine." We desperately want a break, but we still hold on to our secret woes so tightly. We try to carry all our problems, the bad grades, the fights, the fears, all by ourselves instead of just letting them go. And that leads right into section 2, an invitation from Jesus and the ultimate trade.
So there is an invitation straight from Jesus in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. He says, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Let's break down those older words. Labor basically means working incredibly hard. And being heavy laden, well, that means you're the one carrying that massive rock-stuffed backpack. Jesus actually sees you struggling and sweating under the weight of your worries, and he steps in to offer the ultimate trade. He wants to take those heavy burdens into his strong arms and totally remove the uncertainties that are stealing your peace. He's essentially saying, hey, hand over the heavy rocks and I will give you rest. That's the trade.
So if we want to make this trade, what's our first move? Let's look at section 3. Who should you tell? Human ears versus Jesus.
When our backpacks get too heavy, our first instinct is usually just to complain to someone else. The text calls this pouring our troubles into human ears. Now, don't get me wrong here. Talking to your friends, your brother or sister, or your parents is fantastic. But sometimes, when it comes to those super deep, secret fears in your heart, other humans just can't fix the problem. Honestly, they might just end up worrying right alongside you. So instead of just pouring troubles into human ears, the text offers a better way. Confiding all to Jesus. When you tell him your secret woes, he doesn't just sit there and worry with you. He actually has the power to change that sad, rugged path into a path of joy and peace.
Moving on to section 4, the secret, self-surrender and dropping your DIY fixes. The author tells us that the secret to getting this perfect rest is something called entire self-surrender. Okay, I know, that is a massive, complicated phrase. But what does it actually mean for you and me? Basically, it means putting away self-justification, which is really just a fancy way of saying making excuses for why we messed up. And it means putting away selfish reasoning, which is when we think we know better than everybody else. Self-surrender means you completely let go of the steering wheel. You stop trying to fix everything yourself, you stop making excuses, and you just accept his ways. You just do what Jesus asks you to do. To actually find this rest, the text says we have to renounce, or basically throw in the trash, 3 things. First up are makeshifts. What on earth is a makeshift? It's a flimsy, do-it-yourself fix. Imagine trying to fix a broken bicycle chain with like a piece of cheap tape and a paper clip. It is definitely not going to hold. We try to fix our worries with our own flimsy solutions, and Jesus is saying, drop the paper clips. Second, we need to throw away unbelief, which is doubting that he can actually help. And third, self-righteousness, thinking you're already perfect and don't need any help at all. Instead of trying to fix yourself, the text says you must come to him exactly as you are right now, weak, helpless, and completely ready to let him take over. Which brings us to section 5, walking with a friend on the path of light. The source text lays out this really beautiful, simple progression. Step 1, you come exactly as you are, weak and helpless. Step 2, you make that ultimate trade, handing over your incredibly heavy backpack of worries. And step 3, you get to enjoy a daily, close, happy walk in the light. Jesus, who is literally the majesty of heaven, promises to lift you up to be his companion. He actually proposes to be your friend. He says, "Walk with me and I will fill your path with light." So instead of stumbling around in the pitch dark on a rough path with a heavy backpack, you are walking side by side with a best friend who knows the way perfectly. So what does this final destination actually feel like? Our source defines true rest as a consciousness, like a deep down, happy, calm knowing that God is true. It's knowing for sure that he never, ever disappoints the person who comes to him. It's knowing that his pardon, his total forgiveness for all those mistakes you had jammed in your backpack, is full and completely free. His acceptance of you means actual rest for your soul. It's an invitation to a pure, happy life of liberty and love. Bottom line, it means you literally don't have to carry the heavy rocks anymore.
So let me ask you, are you ready to drop your heavy backpack today? Think about everything we've just covered. Why on earth would you keep hugging those heavy rocks to your chest when the majesty of heaven is right there, offering to carry them for you? The next time you feel totally overwhelmed, ask yourself, am I holding on to my flimsy DIY paperclip fixes, or am I ready to make the ultimate trade? Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep asking great questions, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time on The Explainer.